6 minutes.
You ready?
Let's go. Let's go. Higher and higher. You did fill me up with holy fire. Everybody sing along. Higher.
Hello and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. How are you doing? My name is Anietie Bature and it's a pleasure to have you join us today on the live show. So, if you're joining us for the first time ever, I'd like you to just put the hashtag first timer so we can give you a warm welcome. And while we go through the show and you hear something of great value to you, please go ahead and like. And after liking, please just go ahead to send us those hearts and other lovely emojis so we can get some feedback from you. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, maybe you'll be one of the 5 to help us get to 3,000 subscribers. So we're looking forward to you subscribing. So please go ahead and do that. So on the show today with me, I have our wonderful co-hosts and anchors. First of all, I'll start by introducing my husband, Kingsley Bature.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Common Sense for Relationship. You hear my voice, they provoke, they vex. Maybe not because the title na SAPA. So the thing just the SAPA everywhere. But you are welcome to the show. You're welcome today, and as we always say, that we give you valuable tips on this show to make better decisions in your life and your relationships, especially where money is involved in the relationship. How do relationships or how can relationships survive in this SAPA economy? Well, that's just my intro. I hand it over to
Yoma. Thank
Hello,
you.
everyone. Welcome again. I had a really stressful week, stressful day.
and the
And
rains.
the rain, the traffic. And guys, to be honest, the highlight for me was this moment. Like, I just kept thinking, I will just get through this and I'll find myself at CSFR. So no matter what, I'm going to get here. So
Interesting.
we're here and I'm actually really excited. And very thrilled about what we'll be talking about today. And I'm interested in hearing all the views.
Yes, yes, interesting. That's awesome, Yoma. That's so heartwarming. And I guess we're saying how is everybody doing over there, but now I have to say how is everybody doing over here. So I'm happy you made it to today's CSFR.
Good evening,
it's a
everyone.
Pleasure to have you. Okay, Uche.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. How's my week? So last time during the introduction, I don't know how the introduction is going differently today. Yuma didn't tell us she's a wife of one.
That shows me how stressful the week was.
Yeah. So I think between the last time I was here and now, a feather has been added to my cap. So today I'm a father of 2. So my week couldn't have been. There's nothing that can get at me right now. So,
Right now.
yeah, a lot of rain, a lot of
Even
floodings,
the
a lot
3
of.
days going to 4 days rain.
No.
It's not shaking you.
It's giving me a lot of time to bond with my brand new daughter.
Yes, brand new daughter.
Brand new.
Oh
So
my
it's a pleasure to be
goodness.
here.
Tear rubber daughter.
That means you have to be very intentional about teaching and passing wisdom to the men. Okay? Just in case.
For their own safety.
Exactly. When your daughter comes along, she'll be in good hands. Okay. All right. So, yes, talking about SAPA love, what we have going on in not just Nigeria, but across the world. Sometimes when we speak of economy and inflation and a number of these things, people feel it's just localized. No, it's everywhere. Just go on the streets of social media, you'll find out that the bite is being felt across the world. So it's not just a Nigeria thing. But really, sometime back we talked about no romance, no finance, no romance. Yes.
Yeah.
But think about it. Really, how are you guys coping? How is everybody coping in the current conditions that are across the globe? Is love able to thrive when the resources, financial resources, are scarce? Right? Can you still go on a date? Or can you still set time to relate with that other person, that significant other person, when you are low on funds? So, really, how do we make it work? If you look at weddings, a number of people have stalled their weddings or are delaying. In fact, the man is wondering when to propose or hoping that he doesn't have to do it soon, because he knows that once that proposal comes, next thing is going to be meet the family, then the list, then what's on the list, and then after that,
Then
the
traditional.
wedding, the traditional
Venue,
court,
sound.
the white wedding, all sorts,
Church.
I mean, there was this guy who felt like, okay, I have it all and I can do this. And so he wanted, his wife said, I want a big wedding. And he said, yes, my love, his girlfriend, right, who he proposed to. And then he now, with all this zest, now decided, yes, call the first person. By the time he called the first two vendors, he had to come on social media and lament and ask people, please, is this how it is? This is just for the first two vendors.
That he has called.
So he was now saying, if this one is this, then how much will the photography be? How much will videography be? If this is it, how much will food be? Venue. The guy was just...
Oh, he hasn't even called the venue vendor. That's where he should have started
The guy
from now.
was making us laugh. So yes, should we stop getting married because the costs are high and so on? Yes, so that's what this is about.
Before we dive in, Queen Debbie is online as usual.
Debbie.
Henry is online. Henry says,
welcome.
Henry says, good evening. Good evening. No, I came to sweep the venue. Please dust your leg before coming in, Biko. Omorenze said, good evening, everyone. We said, PK, waiting, do your voice now. It be like person we escape Ikoyi prison. I beg, talk well. My brother is sacked me. Maybe it's SAPA that was,
It's a topic that was affecting
It's a topic that was affecting the voice. Victor Silva said, I came early today to meet the SAPA gist. Victor, it was his birthday this past week. Victor, please let's know. I think I saw something like that. Henry says, congratulations. A father figure. And he was talking to you now.
Yes.
You are a father of two now. You have
Yes,
improved. Jimoski says, good evening. No, this is SAPA 0.1. So good evening, everyone that is online. It's good to have you. It's good to have you guys. So please, everyone, please share the link. Share the link. Put it up on your status. Put it up. Send it to your friends, your neighbors, and as I like to say, you can also send it to your enemies. You never know the thing that can make your enemy become a friend. So please just share it and let's get into the conversation. Victor Silva says, congratulations on your baby girl. May God provide all she needs according to his riches in glory. So there are a lot of prayers and well wishers
Thank
coming.
you so much.
This thing, I remember just a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, so I went to dedicate a twin baby girl,
Wow.
and then the father was like, he's making plans, to put CCTV on his street, so that if he sees any guy that crosses 2 times, he
You
has
call
to
them
come
and
out.
ask questions.
Come and
What are
explain
you looking
yourself.
I say, bros, what are your intentions? As you are passing this street, you get. So I don't know whether you are looking at that. So I'm just sharing.
What just came
Best
to my mind?
practices.
What just came to my mind is the Bible says since the death of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffereth violence. And in this context now, why is it that is when we have baby girls that we are beginning to think of justice for boys? Actually, I mean. But I think the feeling is natural. Once the baby girl comes in, we are extremely protective from the very go. Actually, so thank you guys and thank you.
And so that brings us to the reason why love is expensive. Is it not women that are the reason for the for why love is expensive? Because I think if it is just us guys, no, I'm not celebrating guy. No. I don't do Adam and Steve. You get? No, I don't do Adam and Steve. What I'm saying is that if not for baby girl life, love no supposed cost like that. Do you understand? So that means this is me speaking for the guys. Guys, please, if I'm speaking your mind, just give me thumbs up in the comment section. Yes. So what is really making love in this day and age expensive? Why is it difficult to have a true relationship? As a promising young man, I just want to have a lady by my side so that both of us can journey together. Why does it have to cost me an arm, a leg, and several other body parts?
Okay. Today.
I agree.
Today you have a big assignment.
As in,
Because
can see that
you have to speak for all the singles, particularly the ladies. Now that my husband is starting with an attack. Okay.
No, I'm just speaking for the
and,
guys.
and
Guys,
interestingly, on our way, I asked her a question. We were just sharing one or two things.
Very relatable.
Not even putting the topic in
hold
mind.
the question first.
Okay.
So let her pass through this one. Then bring the question.
Okay.
We are here. We are together. We gather day. We gather day.
Okay. If I'm being honest, I don't think that. I think that money can be a distraction with love. Yeah, I think so. I think money can be a distraction. Even from my personal experience, I think I've shared before that I've met people who I was really, looking at this person, but they had money. It's not that they didn't have money. The issue was even that they had. In fact, at some point, I was like, even with your money, maybe it would have been better
If you didn't have.
If you didn't have.
So we can, because I shared then that there was like that thing of money. So generally speaking, I think that whether it's there or it's not there, money can be an issue in relationships. So I would say that for me, I understand the other side. I understand the two sides. You know how even the Bible says that money answers everything, right?
We are going
Because we need money for things to move. There is that part, right? We also have to be honest with ourselves as well, that many things that we need to do, many things that a man might need to do to express his love, many of them would require money.
Try.
Yeah, many of them would require money. For example, you meet a girl, you like her, she likes you, you want to take her out on a date. You're going to have to pay to show her. Funny, I listened to a podcast today and the lady was saying she's not going out on a date with anybody who is going to do this whole, we're splitting figures anymore. So
we're going Dutch.
Yeah. So there are certain things that money would be required to do. We need to start from there. Because if we lie to ourselves and say, oh, don't worry about money, just come as if money is not required, we will not make progress. But there is something more powerful than where you are, is communication. So
Please throw more light.
recognizing that, okay, I would love from my heart to do this with you or that with you, but I'm not in a situation where I can do it or I can do it for you. And finding a way to communicate it might not even be direct. Sometimes when you just meet a lady, you don't want to just come and start saying, I want to spend money on you. I would love to spend money on you, but I don't have money. But there are certain things that you will do that will show her that if this guy has money, I will enjoy. Even if he doesn't have money now. But if she's a reasonable woman, she will see that, okay, this person actually cares about me. It's just that he doesn't have all the resources. Because one thing that I think that men need to understand is that most times it's not the money the women are really looking at. Yes, it is what
Are you speaking
the
as
money-
Yoma, or you're
Okay,
speaking
the
for
Guys,
reasonable-
guys, please
So the
let your comment
reasonable-
be
the
real. Let your
reasonable-
comment be live, guys. As she's talking, let guys speak up for the men, please. Let your comment be real.
Okay.
No, continue what you're saying.
So
You're making
the
points. You're
reasonable
making points.
women, right, is not the money that they are after per se. It is what you can do with money. So I would say that for a man that's sharp, let me give tips now. There was someone that traveled, and I was like, "You didn't get anything," and he was like, "Oh, what will I get?" I was just talking about. I'm like, "You could even pick a stone."
And say, I brought this
And
for
then
you.
you say, I saw
I
this
was walking
stone.
along the bridge. I saw this
Oh,
stone.
do you understand? I was walking
The
on the
shape was
streets.
so
I just saw
perfect.
the stone. I saw
I
how
thought of
beautiful.
you.
in Nigeria, right?
Thought of you.
In Nigeria, it's
Where,
okay.
where flour,
Keep
even if you
going.
buy flour for ladies,
So if that doesn't work, right, then love has become a transaction. So if you are not able to show up as a man in thoughtful ways and get the woman's affection because it's not enough money, then love has become a transaction. And love should not be a transaction. So that means that if you are broke, you have an advantage.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I'm not saying be broke, oh, please.
No,
I'm
but-
just
but if
giving
you are broke,
tips.
you have an
that if you are
advantage.
broke, you have an advantage, which is that you can actually meet people and in other humane, thoughtful, leading ways, show her who you are. That is not obstructed by money.
I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
So
And
I
she's,
agree.
Yeah.
she's able to see. So eventually, when you now, because you're gonna, if you're smart, you're gonna have money
Eventually.
But you have been able to get someone who genuinely sees you because it was not about money.
Yes.
Now I want to land.
So I see the advantage.
Yeah, let me land. The issue is that men blame women all the time that it's all about money, but men don't make effort. If it's not money, they are not doing it. That's the problem. So I don't have money. They already start counting themselves out. Oh, she's not going to want. Deep down, they already feel she's not going to want them.
Just because.
Oh, because I've heard men say, yeah, it's because I don't have money. I know what the real issue is. Oh, my friend, the chick was talking to me. She was telling me her problems. He doesn't have anything with money. He was coming to me. He was telling me his problem. I know what the real issue is. I know what the real... I'm like, dude, nobody's talking about your freaking money. Like, can you rest? You aren't doing certain things that shows this person how intentional you are.
Okay, so
that's
guys,
I like where this is going.
Yes, yeah. What I'm hearing is that this is an insider to a real relationship where she's saying there was a real relationship. The lady is telling her something else. Meanwhile, the guy is coming and saying the real issue is money, but the real lady is saying the real issue is not money. Uche.
So basically, I think I would like to. I agree with you, Yoma, and I'd like to start from the angle of the guys now,
Okay.
because basically, and when I say the angle of the guys, I'm not really coming to defend guys, but I'm going to tell you some of the wrong things in our mind, in our mentality. Guys, there was I think it was on Instagram or so. A guy was like, that if he has money, he would have to tell his woman what to do and what not to do. That there's no way he won't be able to, tell her how to live and everything. That women are supposed to be submissive. That he can't have the kind of money. Everything was just about money, money, money. And I simply commented, I said, whoever is dating this guy, just know you are sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
Gunpowder.
It can explode at any time, because take money away from such a man, he has no self-worth. He has nothing. He feels his worth is money. His sense of worth, sense of everything he can think of is money. And for such a guy, when he meets some girls and, the only way he knows to express love to them is money, money, money. Such a girl now meets another guy, maybe because they move on, and she meets another guy, and the next thing she's expecting is that money will continue. So for guys, just know that, and I'm not speaking as someone who has not been there, you understand? money is important in relationships, but money is not the main thing in a relationship. If you meet a reasonable woman and you're flashing the money, everything about coming out of your mouth is money, I have money, I have money, I think most of them would actually step back and like take money from you. You know, same way we tell ladies, take sex from the relationship. What do you have to offer?
Hey.
So for the guys, take money off the table. Money is important, just like sex in marriage now. But take it off the table. What else can you provide? Most women are looking for people to lead them. Even some ladies that think what they want is money. The truth is, by the
They're
time
looking
they
for
meet
leadership.
you, and they can see that you're a guy with a
Yeah.
vision, you're able to lead them, you're able to move them from point A to point B, they stick. So I was in university and I didn't go to school as one of those rich kids like that. So University of Benin, and the only girl I dated actually in school. This girl was, I went for IT and came back. She had joined the fellowship then. And according to her, she kept hearing, when we came back, a lot of us that went for IT, that she kept hearing, Uche is back, Uche is back. That she kept wondering, like,
Who is
Who be
Uche?
this?
is it only Uche that went for this IT? I mean, thousands of people went and all that. So eventually that kind of raised her curiosity. And when we met, I'm not going to lie, she was using BlackBerry Storm then. When we couldn't even get
Storm.
Bature then. Her hair was
Gen Z will not
expensive
understand
and all.
Bature.
So what happened is that the older brother was doing well. I don't know the business he was doing, but he was doing well here in Lagos, and they were orphans already. So, but the guy was taking good care of her, and she too. So, but when she met me, and you know, the whole thing was, even me too, I was trying to prove a point of why the Uche was all over the place and everything. But not money now, but you know. So, but eventually when we started going out, God helped me, or is in my nature, because I don't even think that time I was listening to God for relationship. No, I wasn't really. I was a child of God, but not God is saying, Holy Spirit is leading me. No. But somehow I just was able to come. This amount of money is coming into your hands. What happens if for any reason your brother is not there at the moment? See the kind of friends you have around you. Some of them were not in school. They were collecting school fees. So I was able to separate. It was a big fight, actually. When I say fight, oh, leave that guy, this zone. But I was able to separate her from those friends without even trying too hard. I was able to get her to start her hair business. At the point when I was leaving, she had a mini eatery. She had a boutique
Wow.
running for her as a student. So eventually, when I left and while I was trying to pick my life up and everything, she was there. She wasn't looking for what I gave her. I don't think even guys with money would have been able to give that to her. You understand? Sense of direction. She had that sense of purpose. She had a vision. She had something to look forward to. And she had someone she could fall back to be able to. So these are some of the things. And of course, when we broke up, it was because we needed to break up. I don't want to go into, because some people watching might actually know how. So let me not go into that. But even after breaking up till now, as our last month, we chatted. She's married with 2 children and all that. She's outside the country. We chat. And a number of other female friends I had after then, when push comes to shove, right? They reach out. You understand? I don't think I ever in fact, that particular girl, what happened is before I realized my provisions had gone down, she replaces them. I could go to lecture and come back. I have stew and soup in my freezer. So she was doing all of those. I didn't have the money, actually. You understand? What I had was enough for me. And my mom is intentional. So even if she had all the money, she would give you just what you need and all of that. So I agree with her. It shouldn't be about money. And for the guys, even that lady pushing money, it's probably because you have nothing else to offer her. So she has to get something from you. Yes. If you have something, the primary responsibility of a man beyond provision is actually leadership. You must be able to lead. You must be able to give vision to that woman around you who doesn't seem to know where she's going to in life. That is basically that. If you have that, money will come eventually. Money must come. That's what we're discussing. So it shouldn't be at the forefront of your mind when you're meeting someone, oh, money this, money that. But no. If the person is responsible, has a vision that he can share and make it plain, come on, money will come. Naturally, money follows such.
I think it's a good time for comments.
The comment section, the comment section is burning up. Okay, so let me start with Henry. Henry says, you don't have money. You are talking about love. Will you keep quiet and go and hustle first? Or Sophia, that song, he was joking, Abi, a song about Susanna. I don't know who
I
knows that
can't
song.
relate.
Yes. Queen Debbie says, an arm, a leg. This one is serious. So Victor says a lot of the reason for the SAPA, the expensive nature of love is social media pressure,
I agree.
peer pressure, all this God when and couple goal, matters. In the age of social media, people feel the need to outshine or at least match the standard. So the question, it's a case of a standard has been created by somebody as this is the standard of, this is how relationships should go. And no offenses, guys. If you want to propose, you want to propose. But this thing, they always vex me. See that proposal where they go put roses, put this thing, and then put pictures, put paparazzi. They don't go rent hall. They don't call people for engagement.
What if she says no?
What if she says no? And then put all of those.
Sometimes she can't say no because she
No.
already knows.
No, but sometimes she can't say no because of the pressure.
Yes.
That's the only
Yeah, but
reason
she
why
can. I think you said
especially-
this. She can say yes there and go
And
behind
then
and
go
give
back
you a
and say
ring.
no,
And
exactly.
you
I'll do
understand?
that if I don't like you. I'll just
Yeah.
save your face.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So there's a lot of that. Well, okay. Jimoski says, why do some women always act defensive when it comes to the role of money in a relationship, when deep down they don't want to marry a SAPA guy?
It's not always.
Deep down, they don't want to marry SAPA. But when you talk about money, they are defensive, like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Let's be going. Let's be,
That's the opinion, yeah.
DMH says communication, communicating, all of that will never solve our problem.
You can explain tire.
You can explain tire, It's, there's another comment here. It's not the money, but have money, Sha. Queen Debbie says, Blackberry, Father God. You can't relate. Gen Z, they cannot relate. Timora said, continue. Victor said, well said, my guy. All those type your account number here, guys. Nothing to offer but money. That without the money, they are just empty vessels.
True.
Try. Mr. Uchi, why you know Mariam? The comment where you know one talk. Somebody won't drag him.
It's not my fault. You don't have
No,
to
I won't
answer.
even answer.
Yes.
It will be-
He says, at Uchi, if you give, okay, I think he's trying to say, if you give a lady the whole world, what will be. If a girl lose guard you, you go fear love.
Yes. So in all your provisions, whether it is the guidance, the vision, the money, I mean, some guys are able to have
Help,
money and
yes,
still
and there's nothing
give
wrong
you
with that,
sense of
yeah.
direction and all that. But in all of those, guys, don't get it twisted. I've always said it now, maybe not here. Once someone doesn't like you and you can see that this person, you are literally forcing the person to be in your life, what do you expect? Even if it's me, if I was a lady and I see that you are, and I know fear God, I'll chop your money. When you don't tire to read, when you are tired of deceiving yourself, you leave. If you're flashing money on someone or to someone that you know clearly, some will even tell you, I really want to be friends with you, but you just believe with money she will change her mind.
Yeah.
And with money she will eat you until you change your mind.
Oh, why?
So basically that's that.
And then
I don't think it's the
I
ladies
also
now.
don't think that people should approach helping people or approach showing love to someone based on what they get back. I have a problem with that, right? I have a problem.
Can you
with-
explain that based on what they get back?
So, if you like a girl, if I were a guy, right? If I like a girl, I'm going to, just for the honor of being able to say, I want you to make your hair. Here you go. It's not that I'm giving you the money to make your hair so you can say yes to the fact that I'm saying be my. I think it's an honor. I'm a man when I do that. I'm proud. My eldest brother told me that when I was young. When I was young, I was still in my secondary school. And he said, no, it was in university. He said, when I spend money on girls, I can do what I want to do. And of course, I was collecting my father's money and doing big boy. But yeah, I can do what I want to do for you. And I'm out the door. And it made girls even chase him because he's like, oh, no, it's fine. You just make your hair. It made him proud as a man that he was doing that.
So I think it's a
Not
different scenario
necessarily
now.
because of the outcome. Like, it's not
I
as if he
agree.
didn't like them.
I agree.
He liked them, but I like you. So as a man that likes you, I want to show up like a man. So if I can, make your hair. If I can, take this thing,
I
do
agree.
this thing for you.
I
If
think
you
the
want to
summary-
come back and say, oh, I want to be with you, fine. If you still come back and say, oh, I don't want to be, oh, that's okay. I did it because I liked you. I
And
didn't
so
do
your
it
brother wouldn't have
because I
been
want
those
you
kind
to
of
say
a
yes.
guy that would come to social media to say after spending, because he already knew what he was doing was not to get
He's
a
a
yes.
proud- he's a
But I'm
proud
talking
guy.
about the guys, which is mostly when they are spending on you, their mission is to get you to change their minds.
Yes,
To change your own mind, rather.
manipulative, yes,
So
yes.
those
not,
are the
not
ones that.
necessarily
No, it's not manipulation
He's trying to
now.
get a
He's
girl,
trying to.
but the skill
Oh,
that he
yes,
has
it's
is
to
just flash the cash.
money. No,
Yeah.
I think men need to just open their hearts, right? Even me, there are people that are like my maybe younger people. There are certain things I do for them.
Guys.
I don't do it out of any. I have people who, for example, when I need help, they are there, like they're always available. I have the ones that, if you call them to help you, they'll drag feet. But I don't still say, oh, you that drags feet, let me be spending on you so less,
So that you
or
can
let me
work.
spend on the one that comes more. I just spend on or do what I need to do because I feel a sense of responsibility towards them that you are my protege or you are my younger person somewhat.
I agree.
So show up. If you're toasting a girl, you're liking a girl, show up. Make yourself proud. Like, yes, this is what I did. Outcome, whether she says yes or no.
Okay, so
Be able to look back and say, oh, I showed up correct. This is who I am, and I showed up as who I am.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's really important for people to always know what exactly are you looking for in a relationship. Okay? You have to define what is important for you. Because if you don't, then you might end up chasing what everybody is chasing. If you are listening to what's being said online a lot in terms of what to look for in a guy, money always shows up. So many times, money always shows up. But the fact is that what is important for you? So I always say, know yourself first and foremost. Then you will know what kind of person you need, right? Money is important. Money is a plus. But if you have all the money in the world, is that person's money really important? So for someone who can provide absolutely everything for herself, money may not rank high on her list. It may be somebody who is not intimidated by my money. Somebody who is still able to have his self-worth and self-confidence in spite of my money. Do you understand? Somebody who knows what to do with my money to increase it. Do you understand?
that's
Somebody who, whether he has as much money as I do or not, is able to hold his own when we are with our friends or when I am interacting with my fellow billionaires. Do you understand? But if you're there, you don't know yourself and say, oh, money, you're not such a thing. I'm looking for someone who has money. I'm looking for... You might not find somebody who has as much money as you do if you have a certain grace and skill and ability to make so much money. So are you going to focus on that? You should sit down. This is me. This is who I am. What kind of person do I need? So you're not busy chasing this whole everybody money. Does he have money? How much money does he have? As much as me? Did he pay? Did he not pay? Are we splitting? Are we not splitting? Is that what is important for you?
Yes.
Because if you're focusing on that, you may actually miss that person who knows how to just listen to you and allow you talk. At the end of your long day of making plenty money and doing all kinds of transactions and closing deals, you just want somebody who will say, how was your day, and sit down and listen to every bit of it. But you may miss that person if what you're paying attention to is how much money he has. Meanwhile, you already have all the money. So what do you need his money for?
So the question I will ask is, so for a relationship to thrive, how much is money?
You can sing the song.
You understand? How much is money? How much money is required to make a relationship work?
So I just before we delve into that. She said something really, really powerful. And in most cases, it is the ladies that they push that to. You hear people who would say, I have money as a guy, but I'm looking for a woman who can come and transform what I have into something bigger. There's no hard and fast truth to this, actually. And I know a number of people who it's their reality. When the lady is the one, I mean, a lady can be from a privileged home. A lady can be someone that rose from nothing, but immediately after university, she learned herself a good paying job and all of that. And money is coming, and you're trying to find your way around it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you coming in as the man, and you're able to, maybe your own is business. You're able to take, she makes 1 million in a month or 2 million in a month. And before the end of the year, you've helped her to multiply that money from 2 million times 12. That will be 24 million thereabouts, right? You are able to make sure that she has maybe 50 million, not because they gave her a pay raise, but because you are able to, I'm not working a 9 to 5, but I've been able to find investments here and there where she can invest her money and all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I believe people should date for marriage. So even before you say I do, you must have been working together. You must have proven that, this relationship, there will be
synergy.
There's that synergy. Because you said it and it dawned on me that in most cases it's the other way around. They are a rich guy is looking for a woman who can manage the finances.
So that means what you're saying, there's nothing wrong with it being the other way around.
Nothing wrong.
Where the
We are
lady
humans.
is richer than the guy,
Yes.
but the guy brings something else that she doesn't have.
Yes. The problem is when the guy comes in and seeing money,
He
the
wants to
mentality, and I don't know how those human beings even exist. The mentality is as a full-grown man. This girl has money. Her father has money. Let me go and eat. You don't even love her in most cases. You just want to enter. And how do you eat money from a woman as a man and you're not adding anything and you are comfortable? So the fact that I
You
say
don't do
money...
anything for body.
No, there has to be something. It's not meant that the woman will be your sponsor. But you get that...
What you're saying is,
Ooh,
let me try and arrange what you're saying. I think it's so rich. What you're saying is that the money doesn't have to come in cash for a man. It has to come here.
Ooh.
That if you have this, you have the money.
But yes, in reality, yes.
So if you have this, so if she likes, let her have all the money in the world. When you come with your what you have here, you know what to do.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what you do. Needs to translate to value for the other person.
Yes.
See, think value.
Yes.
Because if you're looking, it's just like me saying, I have a square bowl, I have a triangular bowl, I have a circular bowl and stuff like that. But they are empty. I need someone who can
Fill
fit,
them up.
just rightly fit the square, the triangle, the circle. Do you understand? But then someone else is shouting, I have a rhombus, or I have a trapezium or something. And the person is shouting, you really need a trapezium! The person is shouting all over the place. And then the person has a mob shouting, trapezium, trapezium. Should I now say, wow, I think trapezium is really important and start looking for trapezium? No! Triangle, square, circle. Where is he? Find him.
Find the value you need.
So look for value. Stop,
This is too. I don't think they are even getting. Guys, are you guys getting what is? Because this is really
So
deep.
remember what we were discussing on our way down, right? Funny. That's pretty much like, so
True.
he asked me, he asked me that if I
Guys,
met
listen.
someone, right, and the person is not in that financial place, physical cash, what will my reaction be to
Would
the
you be willing
person's
to?
proposal to be, together? And I told him that what I'm really looking for is bigger than money. So it would be unfair to expect all that I'm looking for and still be looking at a bank account. I don't need bank account. If you can come with the thing that I'm looking for, then I'm okay.
Which boils down to the
Because-
value.
Do you understand? So is that my own round
Yeah.
hole for me? So even if I see everyone on social media, everybody everywhere saying how much is in his account, me, I know what I need. I've looked at my life and I know what it needs. And I told him, I said, what I really need, majorly, amongst other things, is someone who can really lead me. Is someone who can cover me. I can't be saying cover me lead me, then also let's check your bank account. No, if you can cover me and you can lead me, don't worry. Whatever, however, I'm not saying it's going to be so easy because there is also that part.
Journey.
Yeah, but however the bank account is, if you can really cover me, if you can really lead me,
Okay,
we are good.
So I would want you to come back to this cover me because I understand it, but I would need you to explain it or open it up, right? For a lot of people online. But let me take some comments online. In fact, there's even a question there that I'm still going to throw open. So don't forget this cover me. Maybe I hope we get to it. The comments are just wahala. The comments are plenty. Somebody said, guys, life no hard. Now women they find shawarma and buka hot. Guys, our own are groundnut. Victor Silva said stone care. Okay, I think stone care in Nigeria.
You mentioned stone.
Okay, in Nigeria. Yeah. Okay. Why do some women? Okay. I've read this. Okay, Albert said money is important. Let's stop relegating it in a relationship. Money makes a relationship sweet. We've said that. Henry says flour care. Better buy her vegetables, ugu or water leaf instead.
At least you can make soup.
At least you can make soup. You know.
Funny.
Okay. Somebody is still dragging Uche, but I would leave you. You said if you.
Let's hear, sir.
I should read it.
Yes.
He said, at Uche, why you no one Mariam? Debbie, at Uche, no one answer me. He said, I'm starting a protest. Where is it? He said, I'm starting a protest. Justice for the girl. Uche broke her heart and left.
Wow.
Don't worry. When you hear what happened, even you will know that we needed to actually part ways.
All right, so there's a question here from Vicky Simeon. She said, can love survive without money, especially in this economy? Can love survive without money?
So we can tie it to that your question.
Yes.
How much money is enough?
Is enough. Yeah, so that's a good one. Victor's Martins said, money rules the world. And Victor answered him, oh boy, ma, open your heart with sense, Biko. And there's another question. He says, let me ask this question for the guys. How do you know someone loves you truly or loves you for what you have? How can you tell when the person really loves you or that the person is just loving you because of what you have? Okay, so maybe you hold that question so that we don't lose all the questions. Queen Debbie says, me, I know one marry money miss road, I beg. But we have said, even if the money is missing road and jams you, you should have the sense to direct the money to the proper road. Abi? Yeah, so that should be something that you bring, which is something I'm going to talk about, but maybe if we don't have the time, I'll just close with it. Okay. Yoma, you are saying, cover me. You go still break that umbrella, shark. It's getting hot in here. Victor says there are women who chase that guy with money, get him, and become like Jonah on a boat that didn't experience peace until Jonah was thrown off the boat. So we're looking at the two from Victor's. We're looking at the two extremes. There's a place where you need. We all agree money is important.
Very
right?
actually,
it's important. But then there's now the question of how much money, which is what we'll tackle next. But there's this other part where when you chase the money, you can chase the money, get into the relationship, and I have seen it many different times. Sometimes the guy doesn't even mind you spending the money on you, especially when he feels like money is nothing, money is not anything. But you are coming for the money, he spends the money on you, gets you, and begins to treat you like crap.
Yeah.
Treat you like crap. So that's what he's saying. You get into the relationship, you get the money, then you become like Jonah in a fish, in the belly of the fish. And you are trapped until you jump out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But that's still the same
It
thing
still
that
boils
we
down
say.
to the value. When you chase the money and you get in and the guy can't see any value you're bringing in as you're eating the money, most times people will be irritated. No, I'm not sure anybody is wired for a parasitic relationship.
There's some people.
Yes.
See,
Nobody.
Speak for yourself.
Sir, nobody.
Speak for yourself. I've heard it.
They just don't realize
I
it.
have heard it. I have heard it. A lady told me, no, and she was not a lone voice. It is better to cry in a
Range
Bentley
Rover. Okay.
than to be happy
On a bike.
on a keke.
They don't know what they are saying, sir.
So how
When
about,
they get in, they
how
realize
about
it's
you
not.
are happy? How about you are happy in a Bentley?
Which is a possibility.
How about you? So another reason why I don't like to put money in front.
No, they are trying to say that being in that Bentley and crying is their happiness. I don't know if you get it.
They think
But it's
it's their
just-
happy.
No, but you can be happy in
It's
Bentley.
it's when
and
you have
be in the Bentley and
when
be
you
happy.
have limited yourself to the point where
Your
you think
mindset, yes.
it's this or that.
Or that.
They are not
Thank
mutually
you.
exclusive.
Yes.
You can actually find somebody
Yes.
who has those wonderful qualities you're looking for and
still
still
has
has
the
money.
Yes.
Do you understand? If
Yes.
for you, what value is for you is plenty money plus plenty of these other wonderful things, put it there
That's
and trust God.
Yes.
In
for-
fact,
And
such-
also make yourself such a find that kind of person will be looking for you and rejoice over you when they find you.
yeah.
The issue is when people expect somebody to be perfect, wonderful, have all of these qualities,
Yeah.
then you yourself, you're not developing yourself.
You are not complementing.
It's really selfish. It always has to be a fair deal. Work for that. So if you're looking for this person that has all the money, has all the good characters, has all the features that you're looking for, will pay attention to you, will love you like you're... all those things. You're looking for all those things. Please make sure that you too, you will be
You're
all
all
those
those
things
things,
to the
yeah.
person. Not that the person
I think
feels
that
like
people also-
this wasn't really a good deal for me at some point in the marriage. No.
I believe any lady that can even make that statement is a complete red flag. Like red. There's no. Do you know why I said it, sir?
Tomato.
Why?
red.
Okay, at least
Okay,
for my
why?
kind
Why?
of man. Because what that tells me is that you've made up your mind that you will be a pest
Yes.
that will survive
parasite.
on someone else, a
Yes,
parasite.
yes, yes.
Because if you have visions for yourself, you
yes.
know you will make money. Why do you think you need a man who has Bentley to be able to cry in
yes,
Bentley?
abusing
You can have the
yes.
Bentley
So it's-
and
the-
still have.
And the Bentley is not even your own, it's his own.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, why do you
do you have
think?
to?
Why would
So-
you
so
give
it's
up
the
so much
mindset.
happiness?
It's
Yes,
the
it's the
mindset.
Because
you don't think you can
It's a
work
very,
and you
it's
can
a very poor mindset that people have, and I don't know why. So you see where the problem is coming from. Maybe it's even a mindset issue.
Yeah, of course
right?
it is.
And it allows people to. It even encourages certain things from men too.
Yes.
There's a way women carry themselves that make men feel, oh, now I've given her the money that she needs. So
I own you.
Whatever. Do you understand?
Since money
there's-
is your own, I've
there's
given you the
also-
money. Allow me.
There's also another thing that we are missing out when it comes to this money matter. If we want to be rich, if two people put their heads together and they want to be rich, they will be rich.
Absolutely.
So if you find
word.
someone who is not rich now, but you know you can partner with him, and you know he's somebody that is a good team. I have a friend, himself and his wife makes more money than himself. But with their kind of partnership, they are doing so well that it's good that she has him. Because he's able to partner with her too. So she's bringing in she works in a good, I think in an oil firm, right? He is just like a lecturer or something. But he's able to do things because he grew up his parents were quite wealthy, so he knows how to work with money. So even though he's not physically richer than her, he's using their money. Because that's another problem we're having. So there is also that understanding that when money comes, it can come through the woman. It doesn't mean that it's not the money of the system.
That's another.
So,
It's another issue. That's
Your money is my money, but my money is.
my
and
money.
they're catching out. Oh, seriously, they're living well.
No,
they're,
but
they're doing so good together.
So that you are saying, but I'm bringing it to if you come to the street, on the street, his money, the guy's money
Is
is
our
our
money.
money. My money
Is my money.
No,
and a lot of times you find that in practice.
In marriages,
You
sef.
find that
True.
in practice in marriages. And sometimes the truth about money, if you've handled money, you realize that money doesn't increase just because you have a lot of it. Money doesn't increase just because you have a lot of it and you hold a lot of money. In fact, financially, they will tell you if your money is just sitting down in your bank, it's losing value.
value.
True.
Yes.
For example, in Nigeria, you have money in your account. In your account, the 50K you had at the beginning of the year is not the same value as 50K now. Why? At the beginning of the year, inflation rate was 22 point something percent. Right now, in fact, in May, it got up to 28. In April, it was 32%. So it means that 50K is no longer 50K, it was like 36K now.
Thereabouts.
So it means that even if you pile up the money, just that you are storing up money doesn't mean you are making money. So that's why the mentality that thinks, let me see what is in his bank account is actually a wretched mentality. It's very poor. Because I can be wealthy, but you look at my account and it doesn't ring a lot of money. But I'm wealthy. Do you understand?
Yes,
so
sir.
people that understand money or understand wealth know that, if you are going to look at it, you have to look at a number of things than just bank balance.
Yeah.
So like you say, when you tell me as a lady that before we can even do anything, I need to see his bank account, I just know, no,
Yeah.
you're thinking low. So, but what I want to bring out from here is in context, just like the example you gave, something that people need to prioritize. Something that people need to prioritize, especially guys in relationship. There's a word that I need to use for guys in relationship. As hard as the economy is, and as disadvantaged as you might feel in terms of financial capability, there's one word that every guy needs to think about. It's called resourcefulness. As a guy, you must be resourceful. What you cannot bring in naira and kobo, you should be able to provide in value and quality of life. For example, we were speaking at the couple something yesterday, and I made an example, right? And I said, there was a time in my life when money wasn't coming in our marriage. My wife was the breadwinner because she was working. I had lost my job. Do you understand? I had lost my job. Difficult time in our life. But in that time, I didn't have a job, not for want of this thing, not having a job. I had one shoe that was testament of the fact that I don't find work. That shoe
That's
had,
another
do
thing.
you understand?
Yes,
That time,
yes.
that shoe had an elevation. You understand? There's a way the mouth of that shoe was pointed. Because I've worked out, I don't work out Ushodi, at Wombo, do you understand? Marina, do you understand? I've worked different places in search of a job, but I hustled, but I didn't have at that time. And coming from a bank where I was doing good, I was doing well, which gives credence to something that Silva said here. I will land shortly. He said, suddenly, all the cash finishes, the woman leaves, since the reason no longer exists, then the guy blows up again and even marries. So he's trying to say, if the woman comes for the money and the money finishes, she can leave.
Walk away.
She walks away, but that's just because that's the reason. But then the guy can pick himself up again and blows again, and he will marry again, but he knows that, I'm marrying somebody else, not because of, do you understand? So money cannot be, but in that season of our life, I began to look for, I don't find work and no see, but somebody get work, and there is something that she
Coming
brings. And she said, because we used to do budget together, so we say, okay, this is the budget that is coming this month. By the time she brings that budget, I still remember it very clearly. Then she brings that budget. I know that that's why I said resourcefulness. What is her weakness? One of the weakness that she used to have back then is that she cannot price to save her life.
Still have. It's not a matter of back then.
She cannot go to market to price to save her life. When she goes and they tell her tomato is 3,000 naira, she say, all this tomato, is it enough? Are you sure should we not be 5,000?
No, I don't know. I used to feel like, how would the woman pay her children's
school fees from
if
selling
she's
this?
selling it at this
Meanwhile,
price,
me, I'm jumping off my chair to say like 150.
My-
Do you understand? Do you understand?
From 3,000 to
3,000. No, that we start from then now. We start from there, start coming up. Do you understand? But I knew that was a weakness. So in that season where I didn't have that cash, I would go to market. I will sit with the market women. We will chat and gist, and I will ensure that our budget, we get everything we need for the family value, and we will return with
Something good.
With something good. We will not spend all our money. We will return with profit, resource. I don't know if you understand.
Very well, sir.
So we got the value for the budget that we made, but we still came back with benefits. So a lot of times, guys need to begin to think outside the money. What is the value? What is the value I can offer? What is the resource I can return with that the whole relationship profits because of my being around? I would give you scriptural context. There was something that happened about Joseph when he was in Potiphar's house. It was recorded that the house began to do well because of his, but they could attribute the success or the prosperity or the profiting of the house to the presence of Joseph, even though he was a slave. So it means he didn't have a fat bank balance, but he was a resourceful guy that used everything that was available around him. He was able to make it multiply, increase, produce, and profit.
What's that?
A resource.
Resource. Do you understand? So I think that's a missing tool that most guys. So in this economy, one of the ways that guys can maximize is to be resourceful.
Yeah.
It's not. Don't always look at the money. Think resource. Think value. Think profit.
There's something I want to add.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, but I'm already married and we don't have money," or does it mean I should wait until I have so much money before I get married? There's the part where you learn to live within your means, and you start learning this thing from when you are single. Right? And that's why ladies who just jump and start looking for a man who will sort them out, you know, you're not doing yourself any favors. If you can learn how to survive with little or no money as a single person, you will also know how to survive if for any reason you guys face hard times financially, right? Resourcefulness. Some people say, how come this man's wife knows how to take so money to the market and she will still make soup? But you're looking for, you know, how? When you have learned how to live on little, you know how to abase and you know how to abound. It's very important, okay? So that way, you now start thinking. It's very simple, And something that will help you in that season of your life is stop comparing yourself to that person is doing this, that person is living in that place, so that person is driving this kind of car. No, what do you have? How to make what you have work
for you.
Whether it is making adjustments from where you live, sometimes to which city am I living in? Because some people have carried themselves to cities where they cannot sustain their lives or their livelihood.
So whatever they are making becomes inadequate simply because of location.
Meanwhile, if they go somewhere, what they are making can work for that environment. School fees is lower. Rent is
Remember
cheaper.
Akure now, when we were in Akure, we already had a map or a way our life was going to. So that's why I asked that question of how much money does it take, to, because at that time how much was our rent? See, our rent in Akure when we came to Lagos, the place we got a house in Aja, Olugborogan.
To be precise.
You see the name of the place sounds.
Even we go.
Olugborogan. You understand? The rent in that place, right, was going to be how much we spent 3 years.
No, 10 years.
10 years.
That's, in fact, much more, because it was supposed to be 30,000 a year in Akure to 550,000 a year in Lagos.
In Lagos.
Do you understand?
50% raise.
Yeah. But even though you say yes, we're earning more coming to
Times
Lagos.
15,
But
not
if for any
50%.
reason, you're not job dependent, in which case you're stuck in a location. If it's about business, something you're doing with your hand,
Or
have
now
you
that we have
considered?
remote jobs there.
Remote
Yeah,
jobs,
exactly. Have
exactly.
you considered moving to a cheaper city? But sometimes people are stuck on, I want to live in Lagos, I want to live in Abuja. You enter there, rent is crazy.
It's
and
crazy.
then, so really,
So sometimes sorry to
Yeah.
cut you. Sometimes what is causing the SAPA is not even what is
Coming in.
Is
how you use it.
how you are using
Yeah,
it.
like, okay, I'm in Lagos. Say I'm stuck in Lagos, I can't go anywhere. Which kind of school am I going to send my child to? You have to check. By the time your salary, 40%, 50% of it is going to school fees, you need to change that school now. It doesn't make any sense. So there are some things that you just need to check.
Very
This is the money I
practical.
have. What kind of school will my children go to? If I cannot afford this kind of school, then I send them here. Then maybe I know, okay, I will try to do the best by maybe doing extra lessons with them at home by myself, spending more time to help them with their homework, make sure they get the basics and so on, until such a time as I earn more and I can go to a better school. But sometimes people say, my child, that's the school, that's the happening school, my children must be there. And then you work, take your entire salary, or almost all of it, and pay a school. How does that? Or you choose, I want to live in that place. I want to also say I am living in this area of Lagos. And then the rent there is double or triple the rent in another place. Or you come to Lekki and you go and pay NEPA bill. Your power bill is something
Enough
else.
for somebody's rent.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you really have to check, what do I have and what can I do with what I have? Sit down and calculate it and make sure it balances, and stop that ideology of, if it doesn't work, I'll call my cousin. If it doesn't work, I'll call my brother. If it doesn't, because you have to see, when you make that decision that I will not call anybody, you will start looking for ways to make sure you
Make
don't
you
call
work.
anybody.
Resourcefulness.
Yeah, because once upon a time, I felt like I should be able to call anybody. I should be able to, in fact, not anybody. I should be able to call my sister. Because there was a day we had this discussion with my husband, running low on funds years back. And I was like, I want to call, I'm going to call, in fact, it's not I want to. I was saying it as a normal thing. I'm going to call my sister, and then I'll get some money from her. It will see us through to the end of the month. And he said no. I'm like, what? Like how? How can you say no? It's my sister. And because she's my sister, I should be able to call her and ask for what I need, because she should also be able to call me and ask for. But my husband was like, no. In the name of submissive wife, I did not call my sister. But you know what that
Been a
did?
no for me.
You know what that did? It made me start thinking, okay, if he's not going to allow me call my sister to ask for money, then I better make sure that we manage what we have well, so that we are not in a position
Since
to call
you
my
know that
sister
you are
to
not in
ask for money.
Yeah.
So I started keeping, what did we buy? Salt, pepper, I started tracking everything. To the point where we now made it, okay, if you want to buy anything beyond this amount, we have to have a conversation. We started putting thresholds so that you don't spend anyhow. Even got down to when you go to church and they preach that fire message and you feel like taking your whole salary. Call me first.
Call me first,
I can come to where you are in church.
Yes.
So he will actually come to where I am
No,
in
I
church.
will come and I will say,
And we will
what-
say, so
what's
what's
the
going
Lord
to
saying?
be our...
God, in one case, what's the Lord saying? I can't hear anything. Okay, leave it. When we get home, we'll decide.
You know, I constantly say that. I see your marriage, and I told you, they're my marriage mentors when it comes to marriage. It's because I see so much of me in him, and I see so much of my wife in her. I don't know how to see this very link. We need to share it. She has dropped a lot. So it's
Yes,
true.
yeah,
A lot of things have been said. This is one of those messages that you need to listen to over and over and over and over again, and make sure that you put it into practice, because you can't say waste.
Yeah.
It's extremely resourceful. That's the truth. Because she was saying, if you imagine you're working, both of you are remote workers, and you're insisting you must live in Lekki, smelly Lekki, with exorbitant rent,
Flood,
I couldn't drive to this place.
Flood.
I had to, because my car, I know. Kushenla, I knew what I was going to do. I told her.
Yes.
I was willing to enter, but before I now called her, she said she was coming. I knew I didn't have to. Because it's not a must, guys. You don't have to. There's a lack there. They even have clean water. There is
have lights.
They have water.
lights.
They have lights.
Yeah.
You don't have to if you don't. I'm really praying for God to move my wife's job. Me, can work from anywhere. I want to leave Lagos. Not because of its high this thing, but I don't think the value is worth it. Everywhere is smelling. You don't have water. Like literally, you can't move around when it's No. No. Do what works for you. So
Yeah.
you see everything she has said.
also
Go back to it and listen to it again,
Yeah.
and make
Yeah.
up your mind to do it.
So
right.
before we
Wrap
go,
up.
before we go, there's that question that someone asked,
Which is
and I need us to answer it.
Okay.
How can you tell when someone truly loves you or just loves you for money?
well. So what I'll do first is this is why we tell people start early. Some people wait until they're ready to get married, then they start looking for who to marry, and at that point maybe they already are seen as
Or
having
they wait
money.
for when they have so much money.
And yes, now. So in fact, at work when we see all these young guys, and you're just having a chat with them, you tell them, so who's that girl? Who's that girlfriend or who's that very close friend you had in university that you trust and is reliable? Can you move it to a proper relationship? Like think about the people that knew you when you didn't have anything, right? Because if you wait, we say, do this thing quickly, because very soon everybody in Lagos will know that you have money. In which case, once you come, they're like, that guy that works in so and so place. There.
They
Do you
can now
understand?
pretend.
So really, the sooner you start, as you're going through secondary school, university in particular, please be paying attention to the people that are your true friends. That can become your life partner. Pay attention. I'm not saying start doing relationship from secondary school, but you should build friendships and know who are the kind of people, what's that pool that you can come back to and check for somebody that can be your life partner. That's part one. But later on, when you already have resources and stuff, is how you show up. Your resources are not showing up unless you are known, like your name is already published in newspapers and everybody knows that. There's a way you can still show up without somebody knowing that, he has all the money in the world. Some people wear their money on their faces. If you wear it on your face, then they'll judge you based on what you are putting on your face. But if you're coming with, let me know you, let's talk. Who's the person inside this container that I'm seeing? Let me get to know you. And then and then as you are getting into that relationship and building trust, then you can now start coming to the point where you're beginning to reveal the extent of your wealth. After you have built trust, it's not from day one you say, do you know that I own 5 tech companies? I sold one recently for $20 million. That's what you're starting with. Then you are now asking me 2 days later, I'm not sure if she loves me for me or for my money. What did you start with?
Collabo.
What did they collabo?
Do you understand? What did you start with? So if you decided to start with money, then please accept it. Now some people say, I want her to love me for my money. Because my money is part of who I am and I will always have it. If you're that confident and you don't mind that she's there for your money, it's part of the package, then by all means,
People are really broke.
by all means, you can start with the money.
Yes, as a
and
good that
when
you
she
are,
displays that she's there for your money, say, yes, baby,
spend
it's
my money.
Spend
my
it.
money. Yes.
Do you understand? But don't go and complain that, this woman is always, no. Do you understand? So really, go for what you want. And if there's something you want, prepare also for what you want. And present yourself in a way that you will attract what you want.
Okay, sorry. I also think that even for people that somehow, because there's some people that they can't really hide the money. The money is somehow she knows, right? In your interactions, I think that people are not patient sometimes. So I feel like in your interactions with people, if you are patient, if you build a connection with someone, you will know. I really think so. I think that if you really meet a girl and you really built a solid interaction with her, a solid connection, you talk to her, and you know that there's something there. There's something strong. When you're together, there is something there. You will know. So I feel men should even relax, because sometimes there's also people that have genuine interactions, but because they have money, they're just feeling it's all about their money.
All right. Thank you very much, Yoma. So
I
Uche,
think
1 minute.
I'll take it from where she stopped, and it's basically the communication. So you already have money. Mama has done justice to the ones that don't have money. Before you just go ahead and watch your cycle and all of that. But now you already have money and there's nobody you can think of. The ladies coming into your life, when they come in, I mean, we've been there. when they come to your house, what do you hear them talk about? Are they talking about, guy, don't you think this money you're spending on buying food from Chicken Republic every day? I can make this food at home. Yes, this money is here. It doesn't mean we should spend it like that anyhow. What is the taste of the words that come out of her mouth?
I hear you, sir.
You understand? So it's in the conversations that you
doesn't hide.
begin.
The
Yeah,
fact
it
that
doesn't.
It doesn't hide.
You
Your
begin to
money-
hear
the
the
fact that
kind
you
of
have money
things that
doesn't
come
change
out
who
of
she
her.
is.
Is she telling you, this job you have now, how far? Do you intend doing business later? Things that will make you know that she's thinking sustainability beyond what you have
Thank
right
you,
now.
sir.
She's
Right,
thinking
sir.
multiplication
Yes.
beyond what you have now. Is she saying, how do we do this and how do we? Or is she coming every day to tell you, babe, I know I've cooked this good meal for you. And after eating, she's not like, there's this wig I saw. Is this? And the next time she's coming up with another. It's not hard to find. Sir, it's not hard to find. What I've found is that most guys are not bold enough to tell themselves the truth. So
That
such that they know that this person is here for the
Yes.
money. But they are actually allow themselves to be
Yeah.
so lustful with the particular person that they lie to themselves, and over time they believe the lie.
What?
My own final words.
Okay.
Something someone said. There's been a lot of comments. You can check it out from the link. Like Uche said, please share the link. This is the conclusion. Someone said, sadly, relationships have also become poverty alleviation programs because some ladies are looking for guys who will lift their generation
Out of
from poverty. You know, and for me, for the person that asked the question, you really want to know who you are going out with. My wife has a book called what? Husband Material. There's the book, there's the workbook. Please, in the book, there are 100 questions. So those of you that don't know how to ask questions to know somebody, there are 100 questions you can ask. Not how is the weather, how is the road, or
Have
no,
you eaten today?
have you eaten today? Do you understand? 100 questions that you can ask that begins to bring out the value the person has in them. And like we already said here today, value doesn't hide.
True.
So by the time you ask, even if the person is pretending, by the time you follow from question 1 to 100, somewhere along the line, you self, you will know that this one is just pretending. So get the book. The link is in the description below. And I'm sure you will be able to know who loves you for you or who is here for the good times.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for actively participating. And we love the energy. So we'll see you next time on Common Sense for Relationships. But remember, like we always say,
Common sense is
not
not so
so
common.
bye.
Bye.
Let's go. Let's go.